Welcome to the world of knowledge. This is me Nivarta, here to help you for Ctet paper 2 social science. The syllabus oriented class and important questions at the end of the video. Today we will see about when, where and how the history happened and the earliest societies and the first farmers and herders. What do you mean by the history? History is the study of past human life and activities. It helps us understand how people lived in earlier times. History explains change and continuity in human society. So, what do you mean by when? That is the time. The term when refers to the time period of historical events. Time helps historians arrange events in chronological order. Dating systems such as BC, AD, and BCE or CE are used in history. Understanding time helps explain cause and effect relationships. Where the term where refers to the place where historical events occurred. Geography influences human settlement and lifestyle. People settled near rivers for water, farming, and transport. Mountains, plains, and coastal areas affected occupation and culture. How the sources of history? History is written using different sources. Are you familiar of anyone? If so, please do comment below. Archaeological sources include coins, inscriptions, tools, and monuments. Literary sources include manuscripts, religious texts, and chronicles. Oral sources include folk song, stories, and traditions. Historians study and interpret these sources carefully. Historical interpretation may change with new evidence. So, what are the sources? Archaeological sources, literary sources, oral sources. Next, we will see about the earliest societies. Do you know how they lived and what was their food, occupation, etc.? So let's see about that. Food and occupation. Early humans depended on nature for food. They hunted wild animals for meat. They gathered fruits, nuts, roots, and berries. Their lifestyle. Early humans followed a nomadic lifestyle. They moved from one place to another to search of food. They lived in small groups for safety. What was their tool and shelter? Early humans used tools made of stone, wood, and bone. Stone tools were used for hunting and cutting. They lived in caves and rock shelters. Discovery of fire. The discovery of fire was a major achievement. Fire helped in cooking food. Fire provided warmth and protection from animals. Fire gave light during nighttime. Communication and art. Communication developed through signs and sounds. Cave paintings show early artistic expression. You can refer the image for the cave paintings and the artistic skill of the period. Next, we will see about the first farmers and herders. Humans learned to grow plants by observing nature. Crops such as wheat and barley were cultivated. Farming provided a stable food supply. Animals like cattle, sheep, and goats were domesticated. Domesticated animals provided milk, meat, and labor. Polished stone tools were developed. Pottery was used to store grains. Weaving was used to make clothes. Now let us discuss about some questions related to the topic. Which statement best explain why history is not a fixed subject. Option A. Historians have different opinions. B. Historical sources are imaginary. C. New evidence leads to new interpretations. D. History depends on memory. The question is the best option which explains why history is not a fixed subject. The correct answer is option C. New evidence leads to new interpretations. Question number 2. A teacher asks students to study tools, paintings, and bonds together. What historical skill is being developed here? Memorization, chronological sequencing, source correlation and interpretation, moral judgment. So, what is the correct answer? Exactly. The answer is option C, which means the source correlation and interpretation. Question number 3. Why were hunter gatherers forced to move frequently? They disliked permanent homes, their tools were weak, availability of food resources changed, climate was always cold. The correct answer is option C. Availability of food resources changed. Question number 4. Which conclusion can be drawn from the discovery of carefully shaped stone tools? Early humans copied animals. Early humans had planning and skill. Early humans lacked intelligence. Early humans avoided cooperation. The correct option is early humans had planning and skill. So, option B is correct. Question 5. A teacher explains history as a subject that changes when new evidence is discovered. Which concept is being highlighted here? So, what was the teacher telling? Teacher tells that the history as a subject changes when new evidence is discovered. Here, the interpretative history is focused. So, option C, history is interpretative, is the correct answer. Sixth question. A student says stone tools show that early humans were intelligent. Which skill does the statement reflect? Memorization, chronological thinking, historical inference, moral judgment. The correct answer is option C. A teacher asks students to compare life before and after farming. Which historical skill is being developed here? Source criticism, comparison and analysis, memorization, and guessing. The correct option is option B, comparison and analysis. A teacher uses a role play of hunter gatherers. Which learning outcome is best achieved? Rote learning, emotional understanding of past life, factual recall only, exam drilling. Obviously, we know the answer is option B, emotional understanding of past life. With this, we came to the end of the class 1. Hope you are now clear with first 3 topics, that is when, where and how all the history happened, the earliest societies and the first farmers and herders. Until next video, this is Nivartha signing off. Thank you and have a wonderful day.